Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we got for you here. We got Gasparino talking about Ripple flouting. Stuart Alderati pushes back. The Chinese Digital Yuan Digital Pound Foundation, Bank of England, and the CBDCs in their wallet. We're going to get into that and the bid for it. We got Ripple partner, third largest India bank in the news here. We got an ISO 20022 reminder. Swift Go versus RippleNet and on-demand liquidity. Navin, Gupta, and Ripple Meta expansion. Man, we got a lot of news this morning. The next bull market's got two major components, and we're going to find out what they are today. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter for exclusive content. Right now, $853 billion market cap for crypto. We're up 0.1%. Good morning. Bitcoin, 16,800 plus. Ethereum, 1,200 plus right now. Tether is $66.2 billion market cap, they say. XRP is 34 cents. We're off by 3.9% on the 7-day. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Link 2 says PolySign is enabling custodial service of digital assets to institutions, plus independent regulatory compliant fund administration services. When PolySign launches its Atomic Net blockchain, it will be the equivalent of the Depository Trust Corporation. That is what I've been saying, ladies and gentlemen. Have I not been saying, if I understand what's being said to me and shared by Jack McDonald here, the CEO of PolySign, that this setup of that structure between standard custody and PolySign really appears to be like the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation that settles $1.6 quadrillion a year? Boy, I love seeing this kind of competition hit the market. Well, I can tell you that. Yeah, you, by the way, click the link underneath the video. You can get PolySign private equity at link 2. And I've been getting as much of it as I can, not financial advice. You got to be accredited. Now let's get into this. Damn, that's exciting. Let's get into this. The autopsy of the SEC versus Ripple case is a work in progress, says Charles Gasparino. And shout out to him, by the way. And I want people to go easy on him here. You know what I mean? Let's all work together, have a civil conversation, right? He says, but amid SBF FTX debacle, it is worth asking why the SEC did focus on Ripple and XRP. It says the answer, based on my reporting, says Charles, comes down to the SEC believing Ripple management was flouting. That's what the SEC believed, not Charles, right? So he says here, the SEC's authority by continuing to sell XRP after on notice to stop because the way it was being sold seemed to establish XRP designation as a security. He says, notice Ethereum did possibly one sale and stop, no case, not picking sides, just reporting why a case was brought. And I think this is appropriately shared here. I'm going to play this from Digital Asset Investors. The Ethereum guys, it's true, never did stop selling. And I actually had a comment back and forth with Charles. Shout out to him. I shared some information I think could help clear up the matter of what is really wrong with this whole Ethereum sale. But take a listen here.
I presume that your net worth crashed a great deal. It got run up and then came back down. It did, yeah. And were you happy in any way about that?
Relieved.
Yeah.
So when right at the top of the big bubble, like in December 2017, when Bitcoin was hitting 20,000, ETH was hitting 1,400. I made this tweet, and a series of tweets, and that kind of became somewhat famous within the space, where I basically said, the cryptocurrency space has reached $500 billion. Does it deserve it? Like, do the things that it's actually accomplished, like, hold a candle to the promises that the market is ascribing to it? And I mean, the subtext of my answer is not yet, and I was proven very right fairly quickly. But
you didn't short it, did you?
So I did get the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 ETH, like basically at the top, and that's doubled our runway now. So
there you have that. So they did continue to sell, is the point there. But here's the real rub. The real rub here is that they actually taught people who were whale investors how to disguise their identity very quickly. A lot of you have heard it, but just for the people who haven't, take a listen very quickly here. Short clip.
And I heard someone say that they wanted to have it ready, by the pre-sale by that conference. Is that?
We want to have all the mechanism ready significantly before the conference, and we are having external auditors vet our system, some very gifted, very well-known people, so yeah, ideally we're ready to go before April, and then it's just a question of making sure everybody has enough advance notice, so they can read business plan and make their own decisions, make their preparations, and then we want to make sure that we're not at a conference when the sale is on. So we don't want to do two major things at the same time.
Okay.
So either before or after.
Okay, Mike.
Will there be a limited? Will there be a limited valuation up for sale in terms of Bitcoin?
Yeah, Mike's asking, will there be a limit on the amount that a person could invest in Ethereum?
A person can buy from any number of different identities. We may limit the unit size of a sale, just to make it easier to disguise. Let's say if you're a whale and you want some privacy, you can buy 50,000 units and so nobody scares people with an enormous initial purchase. So if you are a whale, if you want planning on investing several million US dollars worth, then you can do that for multiple identities. We will ask for a real-world identity in the form of an email address, just so that we can make sure that everything works smoothly the whole way through the process.
It's unbelievable what has happened in this ICO. He's literally instructing people to invest in disguised their identities so Ethereum ICO can appear to be more decentralized than it actually is. The only thing more scary than the fact that they've gotten away with this is that nobody is actually reporting on it. And it's an incredible story. Stuart Alderati even pushes back here. He says, here, Ripple General Counsel Stuart Alderati didn't let the allegation go unrebutted here, firing off a renewed counterattack against the SEC, which he says is working out deals behind closed doors. He says, even if true, this only shows that the SEC's unelected bureaucrats believe they have unchecked power to issue indiscriminate closed-door edicts under pain of punishment to those who don't blindly obey. We have crossed from regulation by enforcement to hubris most foul. It's really true. It really is. And I hope that the clarity for Charles Gasparino inspires coverage. I really do. And I appreciate all the coverage that he's done on the SEC versus Ripple case as well. The People's Bank of China changing gears very quickly here. We got a lot to go over. Let's get it in. People's Bank of China assured the public that the digital yuan renminbi pilot is running steadily. The CBDC is currently expanding its pilot areas and undergoing more developments, they say. Now let's talk about this. On the heels of that, the Digital Pound Foundation, for which Ripple is a part of, it's a pleasure to announce the upcoming webinar, January 26th. We will try to tune into that for everybody. Keynote speech from James Wallace, head of central bank engagement for the XRP Ledger, ladies and gentlemen. We're definitely going to try to catch that one. Yep. But then we want to hit you with this. Bank of England answered professional questions about upcoming CBDC and wallet. It says here, more than 70 questions from applicants who wish to win over the $240,000 contract to develop a central bank digital currency wallet proof of concept for the Central Bank of England. Provide questions about the project. It says here, according to the Bank of England, it wants to create a back-end server for a core ledger, a mobile wallet application, and merchant website. The bank clarified that it is not yet committed to developing a sample wallet and will only use the POC to expand its knowledge. They said, we're using POC to deepen our knowledge and understanding of how CBDC products could possibly interact with each other. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Now let's take a look at this. Shout out to Mike Manfield here. Ripple partner Axis Bank, India's third largest private sector bank, has partnered with the world's fastest growing digital banking enterprise, known as Open, to provide fully native digital current account journey for its customers, including SMEs and homepreneurs and freelancers. And it says essentially the same thing here. I'm not going to read it all over again for you, but that is the article that it came from. I checked it out, read it, so you don't have to. This is a reminder that all the way back in 2017, Ripple-powered instant payment services now live with Axis Bank, Rack Bank, and Standard Chartered. So not a bad little reminder to go along with the information today. And I want to start right here. Shout out to King Valix right here for this one. It says the world is converging on a new global standard. That's what it says. It's on Ripple's site. We're going to look at it in a second. He said, let me say it again for the people who love to talk on what they do not know. A new global standard, not the old one. The new standard for modern payments. And Ripple is the first standard body of it. And that is absolutely on point right here. And from Ripple's site itself, the world is converging on a new global standard, ISO 20022, the de facto global data standard for modern payments. Now, we know that that is for messaging and getting that rich, deep data collection. But something's got to move and settle the value to go with it. And ultimately, I think it is a marriage and a complement to the use of an asset like XRP and certainly XLM. They're both on the standards body committee, as you can see right there. We've covered that multiple times, but what a great post to take us where we're going. Because really what we're talking about is competition is what's coming. And the competition is RippleNet and ODL versus SwiftGo. And SwiftGo has absolutely, I believe, developed this product knowing that it is for the new standard in low-value international payments. They absolutely are trying to run neck and neck with the innovation of RippleNet and on-demand liquidity. But here's the problem, because let me be clear. Before the early days, Swift itself is just a messaging system. It doesn't settle value. SwiftGo, however, does say, if you go to the link and watch the stuff, and we don't need to do it, I'm going to share it with you, but if you go to the link and watch it, it does mention that you can move value instantly for the partners end-to-end that have that ability at this point. And that means they're trying to compete with what Ripple is offering. And that's okay, because competition's good. Here's where the trouble comes in. Swift doesn't have XRP. So you don't get to unlock that dormant money that's been locked up forever to do cross-border payments in all the different respective countries that your bank or institution is involved in. And that's where you're going to run into a position where at some point, I think there's going to have to be some kind of cooperation between the two. We'll keep you up to date. And in the meantime, Ripple bullish on the MENA expansion, which is the Middle East, North Africa expansion to cash in on crypto payments. We know that this right here is massive. On-demand liquidity is now available in 40 payout markets, representing approximately 90% of the daily $6 trillion FX currency market. Come on in. Now, couple that with this right here. Let's take a look at this. Remember this? Navin Gupta last summer? What did he say?
Next question is, I guess it's June 2022. If we speak again, let's say at the end of the calendar year or the early next year, what will have changed for you?
So for us, the scale would have continued, right? So in terms of the things that we talked about, 8x growth, 15 billion, you would see a much bigger number at the end of the year because we are growing very, very fast. You would find a lot more nodes on the network. And what I want to say is normally though the growth on the nodes on the network may be incremental, but their effect is step change because after a while you achieve critical mass or escape velocity, and then it essentially moves together very, very quickly, right? So both are these two things that I'm very excited about. And then when we should be able to talk, I should be able to cite examples and take you through how that journey has been.
Okay, so...
And we're excited for him to take us through that journey of escape velocity and step change. Boy, do I like the sound of that. I tell you what, and this is the article that really goes into it. We don't need to read it. We know what the deal is. But then it reminds me of this.
Only strategy that anyone could think of was a grassroots strategy. And that's not how the internet got adopted, right? The internet was adopted by government and military first. So
that's exactly right. And we're seeing bottom up. But you know what? If we go back to the article here by Navin Gupta and go right down to the bottom of it here, this is what it got me here. It says he added that the innovation in the space will be driven by regulatory environment that is welcoming to crypto and technological advancements and understands that it is the future of global payments. Boom. The next bull market, I believe, is two major components. It is a favorable and healthy and well-regulated environment based around these technological advancements like the XRP ledger and on-demand liquidity and things of that nature. And then it will be the real application of businesses just like PolySign and Ripple to take advantage of these technological advancements and put them to work for their customers. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. That's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.